I got shit I never had now, I can brag now. Got my bitch a Louis bag now, she can brag now. But my bitch a Birkin bag now, she a brag now. Now I'm sitting.
Hey YouTube, my name is Nayah and you are watching Nayah Milani TV. Today I'm coming to you with a Milani mini talks. In my last video, one of my subscribers left a comment and asked me to make a video talking about school, and I figured, why do all my Milani mini talks have to be shady? They can just be simple advice. If you want simple advice, definitely leave it below. And if you want some shady advice, make sure you email me that, okay? So basically the comment just asked for a video about my school. As you all know, I attend the Art Institute of Atlanta. I am in my third year of college now. I started school off at Georgia State University my freshman year. I love the school. But my first piece of advice to you is to make sure that you are picking the school you want to be at. Do not let anybody else's influence, don't tone them out, because in the end of the day, you are the one that has to go to class, you are the one that has to do the work, and you are the one that has to apply yourself. If you're not in your right program, if you're not doing the proper things, you're not gonna apply yourself, you're not gonna enjoy what you're getting a degree in. College should be enjoyable, especially if you're doing something that you want to be doing. That being said, I started off school at Georgia State University and I was studying business. I love the school. It is such a great school. Like, when I tell you that school was poppin', that school was poppin'. Basketball team was always lit, the games was fun, cool kickbacks, cool parties. Then it's like, Nayah, you're here for school, not turn up. Like, my grades my first semester were awful. It's because I was studying something I did not want to be in. So I took a year off from school. I was kind of embarrassed to, tell people like I took a year off from school. I'm not saying that you should be embarrassed if you're not in school. This pink is transferring on my teeth just a little bit too much. Okay, sorry guys. The lighting was really starting to bother me. But I forget where I was, to be honest. Basically, I hate that. I forgot where I was. Take a year off. I took a year off, and that's when I started YouTube. I was in the house a lot. I was bored. I was always on YouTube myself, looking up makeup, hair, nails, clothes, things of that sort, such. And that's when I started making videos. In that year that I was off, I was always on YouTube, and and something else I was doing. I was, my best friend, she goes to Bowie State University, which is an HBCU in Maryland. When she got out of her fashion classes, she would always, tell me, oh, this is what we did today, and then I would go do it. So I'm like, why am I not looking this up myself, trying to find a school that would teach me the same curriculum? I definitely wanted to stay in-state because I know how bad that out-of-state tuition can get. So the first school that I pulled up was SCAD Atlanta, but I did remember a lot of the students at Georgia State that were in my art department. This is just specifically for my department. They were in the art department, and they said Georgia State's fashion program was a lot more focused and more direct than SCAD's art program. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. SCAD is an art school. But I feel like if they left SCAD to come to Georgia State for their art program, I definitely don't need to be going to SCAD. I'm gonna be less, satisfied. And at the top of the list of everything that I pulled up was pretty much the Art Institute of Atlanta. They had the best fashion program. They had the best fashion director. Now, other states I cannot speak of. I can only speak of my art institute in Atlanta with my fashion director, who makes sure that we all have opportunities, we all have internships, we are in the right classes, our classes are being taught by great teachers. My director, he is also the director, of the fashion program. He's also the director in the Art Institute of Washington, D.C. So if you are watching this and you are from D.C., Mr. Hammonds also does go over your department as well. He is a great director. He's very hands-on. I personally have had multiple conversations with him. I love him very much. He makes sure we're all great. He brings people to our school to make sure we have the opportunity to get connected, to talk to people who are really in the fashion world. So I have never, and then not even just in the fashion program, because when I first came to the Art Institute, I didn't meet Dr. Hammonds. I met the advisors that are in the front office. They're all great. They're all very knowledgeable on the course that we're going to be taking. There are videos that they show you whether you want to be a designer, whether you want to be a merchandiser. It's kind of basically like my friend Justin says all the time, do you want to make the clothes or do you want to resell or buy the clothes? I think the next piece of advice I could give to you is the type of college experience that you want to receive. Do you want to be in a big university or would you rather be in a smaller, more focused school? Something I did notice about my transition from high school to college is that elementary school, I was in a very small school. Middle school, I was in a very small school. High school, I wouldn't say it was very small, but it wasn't over 1,000 students, so it was small. So for me to transition from to small schools my whole life into a big university was it was very shocking, and then it was like, I like being in a smaller school better. I remember at Georgia State, I was in a lecture class, and I raised my hand to ask a question, and the teacher handed me the microphone. What? The Art Institute, because they are a private for-profit school, they do have a lot of different rules. So like at Georgia State, I could not show up to class for half the semester, only show up for like midterms and finals, and I could pass the class easily with an A. For the Art Institute, if you miss 2 classes, they will drop you. Like, if you don't show up, you're not a student anymore. Also, underneath college experience, I will say I felt like I got more of a college experience from Georgia State because we did, even though we're like in the middle of the city and we're very spread out, like there were so many students, there was always like campus things where you could link up, and there were dorms. And then like the Art Institute, they have dorms, but they're really kind of like Georgia State's off-campus housing, where it's like apartments that you share with other Art Institute students. I don't feel like they have enough on-campus activities where we can all link up in the fashion department, as opposed to Georgia State, where we had like the sororities, the fraternities, we had all the parties, we had all, you know, the things where we would cohesively come together. They have off-campus things that you can do together. It's just a matter of who is going to take the time to, you know, do off-campus activities. And I take the time to do it sometimes. I'll take off of work sometimes, I'll show up and things like that. And then there are some times where I'm like, I don't want to make that trip all the way to Buckhead. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to school. I will say, being that now I am in my right program, I'm learning under like the right circumstances and I'm doing exactly what I want to do. My grades have tremendously changed. My GPA is a 3.4. My grades are always superb. My teachers know my name. I love my teachers so much. I love my director. I've met like a completely different group of friends. If you're not used to weirdos, you probably won't like the Art Institute. It's a school full of weirdos, I will say that. I'm a weirdo too, so I mean, I sit here and talk to a camera and I love it, so you can tell I'm a weirdo. Like, there's the levels of weird and it gets worse. But I mean, I like the weirdos too. I like weirdos. My teacher, Mr. Tanner, says, this is me not judging. Okay, so I really think that's pretty much it. If you guys have anything else to say in the comments section below about art schools in Atlanta or art schools in general, definitely, like I said, leave it down there. And I love you guys so much. If you have any other requests, you can also leave it down below. I'd love to talk more to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. And until next time, bye!